What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Dude Hine Show. Today is August 9th, 2021, and in this video, I want to be continuing my series of doing season predictions for each NFL team. This video is of the Dallas Cowboys, so I'll be making my record predictions for the Cowboys 2021 season. Throughout the offseason, the Cowboys got some more pieces on defense where they could desperately need. Heading in last season, the first 4 or 5 weeks of the year, Dak Prescott was on pace to kill the passing record. And, he unfortunately got injured due to a season-ending injury. But you really look at the Cowboys' defense, it was statistically bad. It was on pace to be one of the worst defenses in NFL history. So throughout the offseason, they were able to get some nice guys to make some major upgrades on defense, especially their first-round pick, linebacker from Penn State, Micah Parsons. Not many people expected this pick to happen, including myself. But, it's unlikely they're going to extend Van Der Esch, and also got Jabril Cox, the linebacker from LSU, in the later rounds as well. So the Cowboys now definitely have one of the better linebacker cores in the NFL, and it's really nice to get some more linebacker depth, especially, also with Sean Lee retiring as well. Another key addition, in my opinion, was Kentucky corner Kelvin Joseph. Honestly, I like them getting corner in the second round, but I did not really like this pick much at all because I think he's going to be a big piece of their defense, but I just wasn't a fan of this. Kelvin Joseph, I honestly thought this was a little bit of a reach. Nobody really expected him to be this high because he had some major character issues. But, I like the pick. They need help on defense, and they get arguably the best corner available there. They also signed Keanu Neal, the safety from the Atlanta Falcons. I personally love this signing so much. I think this might be my favorite move the Cowboys have made throughout the entire offseason because, their defense coordinator now is former Atlanta Falcons head coach Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a defensive-minded guy, and Keanu Neal was with Dan Quinn during his time with Atlanta. So they already have a connection there and everything. There's rumors that Keanu Neal might play a little bit of linebacker and safety. And another key addition on here who I think is an underrated signing is safety Malik Hooker. I like that signing a bit too to get some more depth in the secondary, which they desperately need. And really the only departure to me that can really take a hit maybe on the Cowboys this season is losing corner Chidobe Awuzie to the Cincinnati Bengals in the offseason. But like I mentioned, they drafted Kelvin Joseph in the second round from Kentucky. So he will be Chidobe Awuzie's replacement. So let's get started with this Cowboys picks here. In week 1, they go to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. This is the first NFL regular season game of the year. Very interested in this one, but at the same time, I think this will be a great game, but I just do not see Dallas pulling off the upset here. Especially, with this being at Tampa Bay, they're defending champs. They get all their starters back from last season. But I really feel like this might be a test for the Cowboys. A very, very, this is the first game of the season. This is a good test for them to kind of see how they can maybe stack up against other top-tier teams, such as the Buccaneers. I had them losing here. I'm really excited for this game, but I just do not see Dallas putting off the win here in week 1. Week 2, they go to LA to take on the Chargers. This is another game I'm very excited about. I think the Chargers are one of those sleeper teams people are not talking about enough. They had some great draft picks. They had a really nice offseason. And, it seems like the Cowboys, every single team has that one game they lose every single year they shouldn't. And the Cowboys always have at least 2 or 3 of those. And you look at the Cowboys roster, in my opinion, I would say the Cowboys have a top 10 roster. Roster-wise, I think the Cowboys have a better one than the Chargers. But with this being in LA, and, I think it's going to take a couple games to get Prescott back to his normal self after that horrible injury last season. I had the Cowboys winning here in week 2, but, I wouldn't be surprised if they would maybe pull off a win here. But so far, they are 0-2 on the year. Week 3, they host the Philadelphia Eagles. Honestly, this is not even self-explanatory. I don't need to explain this much. The Eagles suck. They're going to be a top 3 worst team in the NFL this season. They're not going to win more than 5 games. You can make a case this is the Cowboys' easiest game on their schedule. I'm looking at it right here. Honestly, yeah, this is, in my opinion, definitely the Cowboys' easiest game on the schedule. If I had to guarantee one win of the year, this is definitely it. Easy win here for the Cowboys in week 3 to go to 1-2. Week 4, they host the Carolina Panthers. This game, I think, has potential to be very, very good. Looking at some of the games here, the 2021 season, I think this might be one of the more underrated games of the season. I'm very, very, very high on the Panthers this season. I think they have potential to be playoff contenders. I know it sounds crazy. I love some of the moves they did in the offseason throughout their draft. And, they traded to get Sam Darnold. They have Joe Brady, who's the offensive guru, as their offense coordinator. Expect this game to be very high scoring, mid-30s, something like that. I have the Cowboys winning here, but like I mentioned, the Cowboys always lose games they shouldn't. Multiple ones every single year. Don't be surprised if we maybe see the Carolina Panthers upset the Cowboys here in week 4. I have the Cowboys winning, but I'm very much looking forward to this game here in week 4. But after this win, the Cowboys go to 2-2. Week 5, the Cowboys host the New York Giants. The Giants, to me, are very, very interesting. The Giants are only going to be as good as Daniel Jones takes them. If Daniel Jones continues to throw way too many interceptions and fumbles, the Giants are not going to be even in playoff contention. But if he can stay consistent, I think they could be in contention to even win the NFC East. I feel like this game is going to be very good. I had the Cowboys losing this one. I feel like these Giants and Cowboys and these Washington against Cowboys games are going to be very, very close this season. Because you look at their rosters, they're all kind of comparable and they're all very similar and overall talent. I have the Cowboys losing here at home in week 5 to drop to 2-3 on the year. Week 6, they go on the road to take on the New England Patriots. This is a very interesting game as well. You look at Belichick and the Patriots; they are a completely different team as they were last season. The Patriots are obviously a playoff contenders, with all those moves they've made, and the Cowboys. You really look at, their high-powered offense and their defense is a big question mark. People think it will improve, and I think it will improve, but. You look at the Patriots, they have a really, really nice offense now all of a sudden. They have a decent defense. I think this is one of those games that could be a toss-up. I have the Cowboys, I don't know if you call it an upset victory here, but I have the Cowboys playing off, getting the win here in week 6 to go to 3-3. Week 7 is their bye week, so heading into the bye week, they're 3-3. Not great, not horrible, but, those first 6 games are not easy by any means. So I feel like 3-3 is kind of what you should expect here for the Cowboys throughout the first 6 games. Maybe 4-2, but I would say more leaning towards 3-3. Their first game off the bye week, in my opinion, I feel like this has potential to be a fantastic game. They go on the road to take on the Minnesota Vikings. And I mentioned I was very, very high on the Carolina Panthers. If you've seen some of the videos before, you'll know that the Panthers and the Vikings are my 2 surprise teams of the 2021 season. I feel like the Vikings are capable of winning the NFC North this season. I'm very, very high on them. I think they have potential to have 10-plus wins. I have the Cowboys winning here. This is going to be a very, very tough game. I would feel much more comfortable if I'm Dallas, if this is in Dallas instead of Minnesota. That's not an easy place to play. This is going to be a great game here. With this win, with the Dallas Cowboys over the Vikings, they move to 4-3 on the season. Week 9, they host the Denver Broncos. And the Denver Broncos, I kind of mentioned how the Giants are only going to be as good as Daniel Jones takes them. The Broncos are only going to be as good as how Drew Lock plays. If Drew Lock can just be consistent, he doesn't have to be great. He doesn't have to be horrible. Just consistent. Average. I feel like the Broncos are a playoff contender. They have so many young, talented players. You look at the roster; they have arguably the best young talent in the NFL right now. But I feel like people are kind of giving up on Lott too early. He's only started 18 games, which is basically just one season. This game to me, I feel is one of those games where potential upset alert. I had the Cowboys win here, but I feel like this has the potential to be a very nice game as well. Week 10, they host the Atlanta Falcons. This is a very interesting game. Dan Quinn gets his revenge against his former team that he coached for just last season even. This is going to be a pretty easy win for the Cowboys. I would not be surprised if this was kind of a high-scoring game because the Falcons have some nice players on offense, not so much defense, and the Cowboys have some great players on offense as well. Their defense is a little bit shaky. I feel like the Cowboys would win comfortably here in Week 10 to go to 6-3. Week 11, they go on the road to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. You really look at the teams on the Cowboys' schedule. You play at the Buccaneers, you play at the Chiefs. Those are arguably the two hardest places, some of the harder places to play in the NFL today. This game, I think this has potential to be one of the games of the year, honestly. I think the Chiefs might take a slight step back this season. And this is one of those games where I think it will be extremely high scoring, 30 plus for both of those teams. I have the Chiefs winning here, but just with their offensive line. Offensive line was their main issue last season. They made some significant upgrades throughout the offseason. With the loss here, the Cowboys dropped to 6-4 on the season. Week 12, I have a major upset. I have the Dallas Cowboys losing to the Las Vegas Raiders. And, you look at the Cowboys, like I mentioned, they always have those games where they should not lose at all. They should win by 10-plus points, and they end up losing. And then you look at the Raiders. The Raiders are the definition of average. They'll lose the games they shouldn't as well, and then they'll have a couple of wins where nobody really expected them to win. And the Raiders, they're always like this every single year. They'll have a few very, very nice wins. Then their other games, they'll lose to the worst team in the league. So I had the Cowboys getting upset here by the Las Vegas Raiders, and this is definitely my biggest upset, win or loss here on this Cowboys 2021 season prediction. So continuing here in Week 13, they go on the road to take on the New Orleans Saints. I don't think the Saints are going to be quite as bad as what people think. I think they're still definitely playoff contenders. I'm very, very, very excited to see how Jameis Winston performs with Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints offense. It's very interesting, Michael Thomas, he's going to miss a couple of weeks, and you do not know the future of him in New Orleans. I have the Cowboys winning here in Week 13 to improve to 7-5. Week 14, they go on the road to take on Washington. I had them losing here. I feel like this is the only thing that really separates the Cowboys and the Redskins is quarterback play. Ryan Fitzpatrick's only had one season in his NFL career where he's had over a 500 record in a season. And if you're a Redskins fan, I don't know how you're comfortable with Ryan Fitzpatrick as your starting quarterback. I feel like this game could go either way, but I feel like the Washington defense will step up and maybe just stop Prescott and Elliott just a little too much and give Washington the edge here, Week 14. And, all of a sudden, just a couple of weeks ago, looking at the schedule here, the Cowboys were 6-3 in Week 10. Now, all of a sudden, they're 7-6. So, some of these games here are very, very difficult. Week 14, they go on the road to take on the Giants. I have them winning this game, so they split the series 1-1 with the Giants. I feel like these final 4 or 5 games are going to be crucial for the Cowboys' playoff spot and possibly winning the NFC East. They get the job done here in Week 15 against the Giants. I think Jones will struggle, and they'll move to 8-6 on the season. They already play the Washington football team again here in Week 16. They get the win here at home. I feel much more comfortable for the Cowboys playing at home than opposed to playing at Washington. They split the series with Washington as well to improve to 9-6. Week 17, they get the win here against the Arizona Cardinals. I feel that this game does have potential to be upset alert for the Cowboys. The Cardinals have a nice offense. Honestly, looking at the Cardinals and their roster and their schedule, lots of people thought they were underrated, but it's to the point the Cardinals are so underrated, they're actually overrated. People are talking about them so much, they're going to be sleeper. When the more you look at their schedule and their roster, it's not quite as good as what people think. But I think this has potential to possibly be an upset alert for the Cowboys here, but I do have them winning to improve to 10-6. And then their final game of the season, it's their second easiest game of the 2021 schedule. They go on the road to take on the Eagles. That's a easy win there. they improve to 11-6, and that's actually their final record. For my record prediction, 11-6, and those last 4 games are absolutely crucial. They won 4 straight games to not only get one of the top seeds in the NFC, but actually win the NFC East, which I fully expect them to do. I know every single year, ESPN, NFL Network, and just biased Cowboys fans really hype up the Cowboys, but I honestly believe the Cowboys will win the NFC East. If the Cowboys do not win the NFC East, I will be absolutely shocked. This is theirs for the taking. You look at quarterback play, Prescott's hands down the best quarterback. You look at running back play, I feel like that kind of leans towards more towards the Giants, but I think it's close. Wide receivers, you got the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys, this is theirs for the taking to end up winning the NFC East. And my ceiling for the Cowboys, I had their ceiling at 12-5. I think there might be maybe one more game they could possibly pull off the victory here. And my floor for them is actually 8-9. I mentioned there's a couple of upset games here, like Arizona, like the Patriots, and maybe another game or two. But I feel like the Cowboys are going to be one of the better teams in the NFC this season, maybe even the NFL. Very interested to see how they perform this year with a new defense coordinator and a basically brand new defense with Dak Prescott coming back from his injury. So thank you all so much for listening. If you like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time on Sports 200.